Hi guys, this is Hero. How's everyone doing today? आज वाले game cho आज सब कैसे हो? So today I'm going over Sun's transit in the sign of Leo. Okay, so this occurs from August 17th to September 17th of this year. Okay, now the most important factor by far is that the Sun is conjunct the whole time a retrograde Mercury. Okay, Mercury goes retrograde August 24th, which is a week into this transit, and even the first week of this transit, it's slowing down. Okay, so it's kind of giving those retrograde effects already. Sometimes it can actually even be worse the week before than at any point during the retrograde. Okay, but moving forward, so that's one factor. But some other factors that are also very important is that Jupiter and Rahu are in Aries, aspecting the Sun. Saturn's in Aquarius, retrograde, aspecting the Sun, or Leo in general. And then I did mention that there's a retrograde Mercury, right? That's already pretty strong here, but we also have Mars in Mercury's own main sign, and then we have Ketu aspecting Mercury's other sign of Gemini. Okay, so Mars is in Virgo and Ketu's aspecting Gemini. So these two also play a factor here, which I'll discuss in a second. Now, right off the bat, like I said, the main thing that's going to impact the Sun is Mercury, right? Because it's so close. Okay, now Sun and Mercury have an interesting relationship spiritually, right? And the reason is we know Mercury does not go too far from the Sun. It's hugged to the Sun the most, okay? Mercury and Venus, but Mercury even more. The reason why is because Sun represents the ego, right? So Mercury represents what? Rational intelligence, and Venus represents what? Enjoyment. So the Sun or the ego likes rational intelligence and enjoyment, right? It's just kind of like a part of it. Okay, so that's why these two always kind of hover around the Sun, rational intelligence and enjoyment. Now, we do know that the Sun's own sign is Leo, right? So here, Leo in general represents what? You could say like self-fulfillment. So the ego, yes, it likes things that are very self-fulfilling, right? So it makes sense in its own sign. The Sun is in its own sign. Now, we have this Mercury here. Now, Mercury is, like I said, one of the Sun's main pawns. However, since it's retrograde, it is it's more powerful here. It's not just gonna like bow down to the Sun like usual. And the Sun is very strong. So the Sun here, let's just say I'm the Sun, right? I'm the ego. I'm looking for self-fulfilling things, right? Things that are going to be very self-fulfilling to my identity, right? Great. Now, I have this. Let's add on the layers now, okay? Because I made other videos in Sun and Leo. I don't want to keep making the same points. You can watch some of those other videos also. But Sun and Leo, identity is trying to do self-fulfilling things. Let's take on this Mercury, right? So we have this Mercury, and the Mercury's irrational intelligence. So if we're the Sun, if Mercury's really close to us retrograde, it's kind of coming close to us running full speed, and we kind of have to brace ourselves, watch out. We have to make a decision, right? So I'm the identity. I'm trying to do self-fulfilling things. And this Mercury, this rational intelligence is coming at me going backwards. So basically, what this means is that your rational intelligence could be promoted to do things on its own agenda, obviously. Now, how does this impact the Sun? Well, if I'm the identity and I'm trying to do self-fulfilling things, if my rational intelligence is not there, what could this lead to? Obviously, this could lead to bad decision making, right? Or selfish decision making, even more, because the Sun is already really powerful here. Okay, now if the rational intelligence is turned off, the selfishness is kind of part of the Sun being in Leo is enhanced. Okay, right now it's kind of just where it wants to be, but if things are happening where the rational intelligence is not there, now it's like kind of like cockiness, okay? Like, so, which could lead to selfishness. So this is kind of what I want to add here, especially because I just said Mars is in Virgo and Ketu's aspecting Gemini, but mostly because Mars is in Virgo, because Virgo is the main sign and Mars is actually there itself, okay? This Mercury is going to be a little bit more aggressive. So the Sun is going to try to get what it wants, right? Very self-fulfilling things, but this Mercury is going to be very aggressive at kind of saying the things it wants or getting the things it wants in a certain way that it wants them. Okay, so this is kind of what you want to watch out for. Your son's gonna want certain things, but it's like, how are we getting all this? Okay, and also once you combine the factors of Jupiter and Rahu, so Jupiter and Rahu are in Aries, throwing the 5th aspect on Leo. You also have to keep in mind, because now all this energy is here, and also Saturn's energy is here, throwing a 7th aspect from Aquarius retrograde, that now you also have to keep in mind not only how you're getting these things, but what you're trying to achieve, right? If it was just Mercury, it could be a little bit just how you're trying to achieve these things. But because all 3 of those are throwing very strong aspects here, now we do have to consider what you're also trying to achieve as well, okay? Because now you notice 2 out of the 3 of these are very spiritual in nature, and 2 out of the 3 of these, which would be Jupiter and Saturn, but 2 out of the 3 of these are also malefics, okay, which is Rahu and Saturn, okay? So what does this mean? This means that there could be strong inklings here that you should or should not do certain things that the sun wants to do, or you should or should not do certain things in certain ways that Mercury wants to do, okay? And you're going to realize that it's hard work, okay? Sometimes doing things in life are not necessarily convenient, okay? Or they're not necessarily what you want to do. Or you might want to do some things, but you might want to do them in a certain way, right? These 3 aspects are basically going to expose to you that, hey, you probably shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't do it like this, but you can, right? But you shouldn't or should not do this, whatever. But the things that you should do, or the things that you really shouldn't do, these things are going to require you to have some control of your mind and some discipline, okay? Because these 3 things are going to present that to you. Hey, look, we're letting you know that you really should or should not do this, and that they're going to require some discipline and some awareness and things like that. Now, the things that you kind of, the more Rahu-ish things that, I guess on the opposite end, that you shouldn't do, right? These things are also going to be aware to you, right? That, okay, these illusionary things, let's just call them, because I don't want to keep using the word should and shouldn't. These illusionary things, hey, these are an option too, and these don't necessarily require discipline right now, but it's still an illusion. You're still not working on yourself. Your awareness is still the same. You still don't have any control of your mind, etc. Okay, so yeah, that's basically the general gist here. Okay, your sun, your Mercury, they're going to want to do a lot of things, okay? Your son's in control here. Your son is in control here, okay? So, yeah, identity is going to want to do certain things. It's going to be rubbed off by Mercury to do these things in a certain way. And it's going to be probably exposed to all the different ways that it can do, all the different things that it can do, that it wants to do, and all the different ways it can do them. And the awareness is slightly leaning on the side of, hey, let's do the non-illusionary things, okay? But it's also going to be very present that, hey, these things are going to require some discipline. They're going to require some increased awareness, and that they are going to change you as a person. Okay, there's no doubt about it. You are not going to be able to stay the same person if you do these or don't do these non-illusionary things. But we could go down the illusionary route. We've probably done this before, right? We're not perfect, but it's like, what's the point? Okay. That's kind of the gist here with this sun in Leo. Okay, so I hope, you take something away here. Sun goes in Leo at the start of every school year, that's why if you're in school or something like that, people in school, this is kind of why I believe that there's a big change that happens here. Okay, and then the rest of the school year, because at the beginning of the school year, it's like, all right, you're ready to really see how what your identity wants. Okay. But that's it for this video. If you have any questions or comments, you can feel free to let me know. And until next time, I'll talk to everyone later. Thank you all very, very much for watching.